And now at 732-545-9282 or toll free at 888-545-9282. Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
Our Forge Jewelers Omega time is 7:20. Forge Jewelers, the official jeweler of 1450 WCTC. We'll run down our list of closings and delays again coming up after the 7:30 news. You can get the completely up-to-the-minute updated list on our website anytime you like at WCTCAM.com. Let's get to the Jersey Central Newsmaker hotline. Welcome in a guest who was kind enough to rearrange her schedule a little bit and kind of work around the information that we're passing along today. Here to talk about the release of a study with some very good information in it, and a research study that deals with violence and LGBTQ communities and what the risk and the reality is of this. And I recently was in Asbury Park, and I got to witness some vandalism that was done to the Garden State Equality Office there. So we have Tasseli McKay, who was with us here this morning, just for a couple minutes to talk about this research and this study here. Tasseli, good morning, and thank you for rearranging your schedule today. I greatly appreciate that.
Good morning, Bert. I'm so glad to be with you.
Talk about, while we have a few minutes here, the need for this study and what were some of the things that were discovered as a result of it.
Well, we looked across 20 years of research on violence and victimization in LGBTQ communities, really synthesizing some findings that hadn't all been put in the same place before. And, when you look across that really huge body of evidence, there are a number of patterns that sort of jump out that we don't see when we're looking at a particular form of violence or a particular subgroup of people within LGBTQ communities. And some of the patterns we saw were really surprising.
And would this involve mostly kids in school, just to kind of gauge the level of safety? And who exactly was talked to and interviewed for this?
Well, our review included studies with youth, adults, college students, really folks across the life course, and we looked at all different forms of victimization, from childhood physical and sexual abuse to bullying, through, experiences of physical and sexual assault in adulthood, hate crime victimization, harassment, those kinds of things. So it was really a broad study. And then to understand things a bit better, we also worked with the Henny Group to do focus groups with LGBTQ communities in 4 different places around the country: San Francisco, New York, rural Wyoming, and here in Durham, North Carolina.
Was it pretty much some eye-opening answers and results that came out as a result of this, Tasseli, or was this something that you were already aware of and now you kind of just have some data to validate it?
No, I think even I was surprised by some of the things that jumped out at us. One of them is that, we tend to, when we think about bias-related violence and victimization, we have this stereotypical image of a hate crime. And, we're usually picturing something fly-by-night, something perpetrated by a stranger or an acquaintance. And one of the things we found is that a lot of anti-LGBTQ violence is actually perpetrated by closest family members, so parents of LGBTQ youth, male partners of bisexual women, and that was something that really surprised me. I think the other thing that I didn't expect, we all like to think that things are getting better, and when we look across this body of research comparing, the 1990s, the 2000s to now, I think I expected to see that, maybe we have less victimization. In fact, most forms of anti-LGBTQ violence and victimization have held steady over the last few decades, where, we think we've made a lot of social progress. And in fact, some forms of victimization, particularly those affecting LGBTQ young people, actually appear to be getting worse. And that was really unsettling.
Yeah, I can understand that. As we wrap up here, is there a website where people can go and get some more information about RTI International and what this study was all about?
Absolutely. www.rti.org. Thank you so much.
All right, Tasseli, thank you for your time. I appreciate your moving your schedule around today, and some good information there. Again, Tasseli McKay, social science researcher with RTI International. And again, if you want to get some more information, you can visit rti.org. Jersey Central.